All right. This is a really important debunk. Ivermectin has become all the rage as a possible treatment for COVID among some Americans, except there aren't actually any blind, randomized, controlled trials in humans with a placebo group that prove ivermectin is good for COVID in humans. Recently, ivermectin got a big publicity boost because Joe Rogan took it along with multiple other medications when he got COVID about a week and a half ago. And then in a recent segment on his show with comedian Tom Segura, Rogan cited something that tons of people are citing. He said, listen, Japan said, let's use it. Japan is super conservative on medications, on elements of medical. And yet Japan said, use ivermectin for COVID, except they actually didn't. This is a huge red flag debunk that we have to do. So let's start with what Joe Rogan said on his program and then go from there.
It's supposed to have what is the exact thing it's supposed to do? There's something that I highlighted. And this is obviously, I'm not a doctor. It says ivermectin was found to be a blocker of viral replicase, REPLICASE protease, and I don't know what this word is. Human TMPRSS2. I don't know. But what they didn't highlight is that I got better.
Yeah, you got better quickly.
They try to make it seem as if like I'm doing some wacky shit that's completely ineffective. And
right.
CNN was saying that I'm a distributor of misinformation. Also, that was the other thing that happened. In Tokyo, in Japan, which is apparently they're very conservative about the medication that they use and the medications that they endorse. But the Tokyo Medical Association chairman held a live press conference recommending ivermectin to all doctors for all COVID patients.
Okay, so there's a lot there. A lot of it we already looked at last week. Let's focus on the Japan thing. The claim is there was this press conference in Japan, and at the press conference, they said doctors should use ivermectin. And this is being endlessly repeated. It's being endlessly posted. The same article keeps getting posted. And the truth is that video is from February. It's being posted now as if this is a new development based on studies of ivermectin. It's not. Okay, the video has been floating around of a chairperson in the Japanese Medical Association saying, we recommend doctors in Japan use ivermectin to treat COVID-19. It's being posted now, late August, early September, as if it was just filmed and is based on recent data. It was filmed in February. It's not new. The video is from before there was really any investigation of ivermectin for COVID-19. It is now 7 months later. Japan has not approved of ivermectin to be used to treat COVID-19. And in fact, after the February statement that people have been posting, Japan's health ministry's COVID-19 treatment guidelines were revised in July, and they put ivermectin on a list of drugs whose efficacy and safety have not been established. That's July. So the guidelines refer to reports that the drug does not improve mortality for COVID. It does not shorten hospitalization for COVID. It does not accelerate reducing viral loads in patients with mild symptoms. So first of all, the FDA, the WHO, and other organizations, they have opinions about ivermectin, which you could look at. So already saying we're going to ignore all of these opinions and just look at what Japan said, that's already strange. Like if you're going to choose to ignore all of it and say, I'm only going to look at what Japan is doing, you're already cherry picking. But even if you say I'm going to only look at Japan, the most recent statement from Japan is this doesn't work. Ivermectin doesn't work. So when people post that, do not be swayed by it. Now, one other thing. In the segment, Rogan says, I took ivermectin and I got better. This is the epitome of specious reasoning. I would love to be back on Joe's program and to talk about this. You have a condition which most people recover from, right? Like, remember, the death rate overall of COVID, it depends on how many people never get tested. But we believe that the death rate is somewhere between 0.8% and 1.5%, roughly, in terms of the infection fatality rate. It includes the fact that some people never get tested. Most people recover from COVID, regardless of what medications they take. When you take ivermectin and azithromycin and monoclonal antibodies and prednisone steroids and vitamin drips, there is no possible way you can attribute one recovery to one of the things that you took, especially when most people recover without taking anything. It's just not an empirical statement. It's an anecdotal statement. Now, believe me, I get emails from people saying, David, why are you against ivermectin? Why aren't you open to ivermectin? The second we have a blind, placebo-controlled, randomized controlled trial of ivermectin that says it works, I will be right there supporting it. I said the same thing about hydroxychloroquine and lots of other things. We had the combination of 2 HIV drugs that were being looked at, all these things. A couple of these became politicized and popular, mostly among the right. I'm completely agnostic about all of these things. Give me the double-blind, placebo-controlled trials that say they work for COVID, and I will be right there saying, let's go ahead and do this. We do not have that evidence right now for ivermectin. People pointing to Japan are focusing on something said in February when Japan updated their recommendations in July. It has to stop. It has to stop. Let me know your thoughts. You can find me on Twitter at @dpackman. One of our sponsors is privacy.com. They're giving you $5 when you sign up for their completely free service at privacy.com/Pacman. I've been using Privacy for a little over a year now. You've heard me talk about it before. It's a lifesaver, and here's how it works. It takes just a couple of minutes to set up. Anytime you buy something online or on the phone, instead of actually using your real credit card number, the Privacy app and the browser plugin let you give each company a randomized virtual credit card number that you create out of thin air. It'll even autofill the card number with one click. And the payment is taken out of your checking account without the merchant ever knowing your real information. So this allows you to keep your banking information secure, but also to take control of your finances. You can create up to 12 of these virtual credit cards a month. You can set spending limits. You can freeze them. You can delete them anytime you want. So when you do this, it means you're not going to be charged when you don't want to be, because you can destroy the virtual card number right after using it, which, for instance, I love using free trials because I know I won't be charged when the trial is over if I use a virtual credit card number. You're keeping your identity private by not telling companies who you are. You're keeping your bank or credit card info protected against data breaches and identity theft. And it's free. And like I said, you'll get $5 to spend when you sign up at privacy.com/Pacman.